Well, hello there, and welcome to Thursday's workout, last day of April. Pretty excited about this one. We're looking at overhead squats. If you got a barbell at home, make sure you got room in your place that you can do the barbell movement so you don't hit anything on the wall or the ceiling. Go outside if you can. If you got kettlebells or dumbbells, let's gather those up and try to get as many different types of weight as possible. The overhead squat, very difficult, very tough. Especially if you don't warm up. So a couple ideas for warming up. Want to make sure that we warm up the shoulders at full range of motion. So we want to make sure that we're going to do some pressing. We can also do some lateral outside. Just go ahead and just open up the shoulders by going out to the side. We want to make sure just basically we're getting some blood flow to that joint and going through the full range of motion. And that's just going to wake up all the muscles in the area so you can start to activate them and get them to stretch to their full capacity. A couple things that I like to do is just Y's, call them Y's, some T's, and then some I's, back and forth, back and forth. And I just do as many reps as I feel like I can, and once I feel that burning sensation, I kind of just stop. And so I do that a little bit. I would also make sure that I do some kind of, maybe go for a run or warm up some of the blood in my full body and just get the blood flowing through my heart. So jump rope, jumping jacks, run, row if you got a rower at home, bike if you got a bike. Go for a little 3 to 5 minute bike. That's great. That'll get you set up and ready. Now, lower body, squatting of course, so knees and hips are tight, especially from sitting. Go ahead and make sure that you're getting some lunges, some air squats in there. I like to personally open and close my knee like this to get that femur moving around in my hip joint. I also like to stretch out my hamstrings by going forward and back a little bit. That opens up that hamstring, especially after yesterday's workout at deadlifts. And then if I'm doing ankle mobility in my squats and I'm doing them, and that's the hardest point for me, make sure that you're just gonna warm up that joint as much as you can. Maybe you do some lunges and just kind of really work on pushing that knee forward and getting full stretch of the calf and soleus and Achilles tendon back here. So that would be a great place to focus on for some of us as well. You guys know who you are. All right, so once you're all warmed up, we want to go ahead and grab that barbell, kettlebell, and put it overhead, and then we're gonna squat. For those one-arm people doing the kettlebell and dumbbell, it's 10 reps for the first set, 8 for the second, and third, 6 for the third set. So split it up on each arm. If you got a really heavy kettlebell or dumbbell, scale down the reps. If you got a light one, scale up the reps. I want something challenging, make it challenging. If you got that kettlebell in that overhead position, try not to let the elbow bend, let that kettlebell go out at all. Keep it nice and close to your ear with your bicep. Arm out in front of you, make some tension through both sides, squat all the way down, and then back up, okay? Take a little pause in the bottom. If you are finding it to be too easy, make it a little bit harder on yourself, go for it. But overhead squat, only 3 rounds today, so warm up to first set of 10, something that's challenging, and then add weight if you can. If you can't, stay where you are with the reps and just get 3 sets done, okay? After that, after all that, we're gonna also do a Tabata. If you haven't done Tabata before, you might wanna just kind of do a little bit more research with your one-on-one coach online, ask some questions or some Google searches. It's one of the most common and famous interval trainings. It's great to know about. For those that have done Tabata before, this is gonna be old news, but today we are doing overhead squats as the first movement. You're gonna do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. You're gonna do that 8 times through, so a total of 4 minutes, and you're gonna do that for 1 movement before moving on. Once you've done all 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work, 10-second rest, you're then gonna rest for 1 whole minute. So you got tons of rest coming towards you. So that means push hard. Overhead squat, pick something light. You're gonna do a lot of reps. After you've rested for a minute, you're gonna do back extensions. Back extensions, just kind of like Superman's back extensions, what do you wanna call them? You're gonna be laying on your back. You're gonna bring those feet off the ground and arms off the ground, back up and down. Don't flop like a fish, just get the reps in, okay? And feel your glutes and back engage. After that, 1 minute rest. Handstand holds. Handstand holds, if you got a space where you can kick up, go ahead and do that and hold it, lock out those arms. If you're not comfortable getting upside down or locking out those arms, or you don't have the space, just do a high plank. High plank. Put some weight on your back if you got a roommate or a partner or somebody around, or do a side plank. That's also pretty good. Make some movement happen. get a little unstable. Maybe you do shoulder taps for that 20 seconds. Make it harder by making movement happen and making it more difficult by doing one-handed or one-armed movements. If you can do a tripod, check out Stu's awesome video in our video library about doing a tripod or a preliminary step to the handstand hold, which you can do. So go check that video out. After that, 1 minute rest, sit-ups. Sit-ups or sit-ups. Go ahead and go crush them. If you can't do sit-ups, do some crunches. Try to do some kind of flexion of the abs and get some tightness going there, okay? You can do toes to post as well, or if you got a pull-up bar, you could do knees to chest. That'd be fun. If you then rest for 1 more minute, and then finally wall ball shots. If you got a wall ball at home or med ball, go ahead and do wall ball shots against whatever you can, so you don't hurt a painting or anything like that, but just do some wall ball shots. If you don't have a wall ball, do some thrusters, right? Thrusters, light thrusters, light thrusters. If you don't want to do overhead press or squatting and that's just something you can't do right now, talk to your one-on-one coach. Maybe you do some deadlifts. Maybe you do some running. Maybe you just sub in some kind of movement that you can do for the Tabata interval. At the end, if you're keeping track at home, score-wise, score the least amount of reps you did for one of the Tabata intervals. That's again 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That's your score for each movement. Have fun, don't die, should be good.